for some floods in New York and Jersey? How'd that go? How was that, New York and New Jersey?
I got drenched.
You did you?
Yeah,
what happened, Sean?
No flooding. Well, after I finished your amazing show, where I had a misspelling in the description, I'm sorry, everyone. But I just got really, really drenched for like 1 minute that I was outside. Yeah, it sucked. But I think it's in the actual city. It's maybe there's some bad areas. The subways got fucked.
Yeah, the subways got screwed. I saw some of that. But the next day, it's fine. Like, it's not, New York isn't like other places where it'll flood and then, you know, you hear that people were washed away and their houses are gone. It's flooded. The subways flood. It's underground. What do you expect? It's been doing this for years. And the highways flood and everyone freaks out. Oh, my God. And then the next day, the sun comes up and everything was fine. Nothing was really flooded for the most part. I mean, some low-lying areas, but all the rest of the shit, it was fine. The Jersey Turnpike got a little floody. I saw that. Jesus Christ. But it's just what it is. There seems to be a lot of these flash floods going on of late, which leads me to believe that it seems to be that the media is really pushing every flash flood and these flooded areas. I think we've had this. This has always happened. What happened back there? This has always been happening. But now we just see it more. And if there's an agenda like climate change and a president in office like Donald Trump that they want to blame for things, of course they're going to push every instance of flooding that goes on. Obviously, there was a terrible tragedy in Texas when a flash flood went through a summer camp for kids, and a lot of people died. And, that's a terrible, obviously newsworthy story. But I think when things just flood over the course of the years, they never really pay attention to it. There's always been flooding and flash floods that happen. Does that mean we're getting more of them now? Again, perception is everything. I think if you decide you want to cover people that were working a vending machine and the vending machine fell on them, and you just wanted to cover those stories every day, every week, every month, people would start getting very scared to use vending machines. They're like, you hear? I don't know what's going on. These things are falling all over people. It's crazy. That would be the perception. The reality would be that nothing has changed. It's just been this way. It's still that way. And you're under no more danger now of getting crushed by a vending machine than you were before they started really paying attention to it. You see a lot of these stories with the news in the summer with, of course, shark attacks. They love a good shark attack. And it doesn't even have to be really an attack. It could be contact. It could be somebody. Sharks were seen in an area. And then if someone is bitten by one, all those stories come out of the woodwork. They start covering these things and making it sound like it's a shark smorgasbord out there, out at the beach. And people get scared. But it's no different than it's ever been. And that's what I think is going on with this flooding nonsense. I think the media and people have picked up on this climate change thing. Donald Trump has cut funding. We're not in the Paris Accord anymore, and the green energy thing. So they want to make it seem to the blithering idiot, I think, because to think that he's been in office for a few months and that anything he did could have made any difference in weather cycles from Biden till right now. It's hilarious. Like, you could be pouring pure carbon monoxide and coal smoke and into the atmosphere, and I mean, maybe in 10,000 years, something would happen. But to think, with Trump's president, look, we're getting these floods. It's really dumb type thinking. But what they kind of also want to do is that Trump cut some of the funding behind FEMA and some of these aid programs that, of course, were big wastes. And they hope something happens with this flooding where somebody's injured or dead. And then they could blame that death on the fact that our emergency systems weren't ready because Trump cut all the budget for it. Again, just total bullshit. I mean, this is the game that these politicians play. It's disgusting. It's complete lies. And, that's what we have to live in. That's the country and the politics we're dealing with. So you got to kind of do your own research, look, and common sense. People ask, they ask me all the time, there's so much bullshit out there now, so much bullshit. I don't even know where to go for news and this. It's like, yeah, that's true. But you can always rely on your common sense. Some of you. Do some thinking, use your past experience in dealing with certain things, seeing how the media responds to things, politics. You've been around a while. You know how politics work. You know what propaganda the news is, especially these days. So your own common sense and thinking things out, reasoning, deductive reasoning, that's your best bet these days. And when I see more floods, they're showing more flash floods happening, I can think that more flash floods are happening, or I can think, wow, this is typical of what they would do, cover this, make it sound a lot worse than it is because they want to make the politician that they don't like look bad. And, I'll go over to that side quicker than I will that there is a genuine weather thing going on with my weather machine. Oh, my ear itches. But then again, there are some wacky things going on with cloud seeding. They had this CEO of this cloud seeding company, and he's talking about how they go up, they put these little granules of metal and other things into the sky where they see little clouds, but clouds aren't big enough or water laden enough to start raining. But if you put little dust in there, some kind of dust, then the liquid that's in the atmosphere can condense onto the dust. You ever out on you're out on a warm day, like it's humid in this room right now, but it's certainly not raining in this room. But if you look at my cold beverage, you could see that I can make a line there because there's moisture on there. A little science for you. That's what happens in the atmosphere. There's moisture all around, but there's nothing for it to condense on. So it just kind of sits there. So if you fly and you let some shit out, the water, the liquid in the atmosphere condenses on that. And when enough condensation happens, it gets heavy enough and it falls down as rain. That's what cloud seeding is. There are many different takes on it. I know my good friend Lionel believes, and I don't argue with him. I don't know. He believes that they are putting stuff in the atmosphere to kind of block the sunlight, and the energy from the sun can get through it, and it can't escape, and the planet gets warmer for whatever reason they want that. That can be speculated. But that's supposed to be different than cloud seeding for rain. And cloud seeding usually doesn't result in a lot of rain. Just for the sheer fact that if there was enough liquid in that atmosphere it would rain. And you'd have a storm and a lot of rain. If you have to use granules to condense the small amount of liquid that's in the air, you're really not going to get that much rain out of it. It's used, I guess they're really kind of still experimenting with it, but it's used in some real dry areas when they do need some moisture in the ground, and they try seeding the clouds. But is this doing anything? Again, a little common sense and deductive reasoning tells me, and based on what I know about cloud seeding and rain and condensation and things like that, it would lead me to believe no, that cloud seeding isn't causing these torrential downpours that are flooding all these areas in the United States. But then again, who am I but a former shock jock? The other thing is the radar stations. I'm seeing a lot of people that are showing me these maps in motion, video, and it's got these blotches, these pulsating blotches all over it. And those are apparently your Doppler radar stations. But some people have said it's the HAARP weather machine. It's the radiation from these things. It's made to change weather patterns, and that's what's doing it. And they show me these maps and these pulsating areas where these stations are, and then you see these frontal systems form with thunderstorms, and they start moving out. But I'm not seeing anything that hasn't been normal over the course of the years as far as weather movement goes. Oh, a frontal system kicks up somewhere in the eastern Midwest, the western side of the Appalachians. And then there's energy there. And then when it combines with the Gulf Stream coming up from the southeast, a frontal system forms. Moisture is then dumped on the East Coast, especially in the summer when the weather's warmer and the water is warmer off the coast. So I'm not seeing these amazing, make it snow. If tomorrow some guy showed me the map and said this pulse thing around the Greenville, South Carolina area, and I looked out and went, holy shit, it's 95 degrees and it's snowing out, then I would be sure. I would be able to use that deductive reasoning and go, that's fucked up. I don't think that's supposed to happen. So, we all have to think a little bit these days. There was this delusion that when people got so much access to so much information about everything, that we wouldn't have to think anymore. But there's a difference between not having to think and not wanting to think. Because all that information gives you the ability to just let technology do the thinking for you. A lot of people do that. They take everything at face value, and they even say, oh, we don't even have to think anymore. I could pop that in. You sit there these days, you go, oh, who is that guy in that movie? And then you go to IMDb and you find it in a second. You don't have to think. You should want to. And in these days, the more you don't have to think, the more you should be thinking about what you're seeing and what's going on. Because there are some pretty nefarious groups of people that I think their intent is to have you stop thinking and just look at what you're seeing on your equipment. And that's that. That's now your what you should know. Don't think about it. Don't reason it out. We don't want that. Hey, Sean, is there